Bonjour, animals. I am Josie the Mustang, the Afro-Latina Regina George of Witches, and you are aligned with the frequency of the Lua Nova podcast. And today's episode is going to get a little deep. I'm going to give you a trigger warning and tell you that if you deal with anxiety and trauma, as most of us do, that this episode might be tough for you. But I did it with you in mind. I also did it based on my own trauma and my own healing and wanting to help you to get there. Okay. We're all getting there. We're always going to be healing. And I want you to be gentle with yourself and take care of yourself, really. So let's get started. I hope the sound quality is okay because I am in the middle of getting ready and this is the best time for me to record. So I couldn't just skimp on the recording, and I want to apologize for any weird sound quality. I do listen back. If it's too bad, then I will completely re-record everything. This is actually a re-record, but there's going to be affirmations that I give you about anxiety. They're also going to be in the show notes that you can say to yourself every single day if you want, if that helps you. Affirmations work when you actually believe the affirmations. So if you're in a state of mind where you don't genuinely believe that you can earn large sums of money, or you don't believe that you can overcome your anxiety or trauma, then I suggest that you wait to do any kind of affirmations because you actually end up building more negative momentum than positive. Okay. There's other ways for you to focus on healing. Obviously, I always talk a lot about journaling, EFT tapping, and meditation. I can't teach EFT tapping on a audio podcast, but I always recommend that you look that up. It is something that I incorporate into my practices for myself. So it's definitely something I advise. And for those of you who are into crystals, etc., there are healing crystals and all of the above that can help you as well. And I just advise that you look into what does work for you if for some reason affirmations don't. Okay? Because they don't work for everybody. I give you a lot of different tools because we're all different, you know? Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is trauma and anxiety and manifestation. There's no such thing as you brought on your own trauma. Okay? You did not manifest your trauma. Because for a lot of us, unfortunately, our trauma began extremely early in life. And I know that I didn't bring that on. It most certainly wasn't even, the things that happened to me weren't anything that would have ever crossed my mind. Okay? And so because of that, I think of you, and a lot of you are new to manifesting. And you get in your head a lot as far as how you treat yourself. Sometimes you're not very kind to yourself. You're going to hear my perfume spray. Yes, I wear perfume to the gym. That stereotype about Brazilians being extra clean is accurate. That's a good stereotype. But I also want to say to you that I want you to show yourself some more kindness, to understand that when it comes to a spiritual journey, unfortunately, you're going to come across a lot of fakes. You're going to come across a lot of people just trying to scam you or that are convinced that they are somehow more enlightened than you are. I saw a really funny TikTok about it. I wish that I could tag all of you in these. I try to repost them when I can so that sometimes you can see what I'm talking about. But sometimes I forget because, you know, I'm not on TikTok all day, but I do use it to interact with a lot of you on at least once a day. So, but they talked about this coming across fake spiritual people pretty much that just claim to be so much more enlightened than you. They just know so much more than you. Yeah, because we're all at different levels, but we're always learning. And I have learned quite a bit from people who are new to any sort of new age spirituality, manifestation, etc. I've learned from baby witches. They've learned from me, obviously. There's things we can always learn. I remember a baby witch saying, well, can't I just do it this way? That's what feels right to me. And me thinking to myself, well, yeah, absolutely. You get it. See, you didn't need me or anybody else to confirm that. So with that being said, I'm going to give you all an example. And this is a tough example, but so I hope I don't trigger anybody with it. It's not meant for that. It's meant as an example. Because I want you all to be mindful of how you come across to people. All right? That's important too. For those of you who don't have severe trauma, this part is more for you. For those of you who do, this lesson will be more about you accepting that it's okay and that you're healing. Okay? So partner A, we're going to talk about a relationship. This fictional relationship between partner A and partner B. Partner A has been through their own trauma, correct? As we all have. Partner B has been through severe trauma. Partner A causes partner B even more trauma at some point in their relationship, correct? Okay. Partner B is already healing from past trauma, as we all are. Partner A wonders why all of a sudden everything, including their sex life, just seems off. That everything's different. I don't understand. What did I do? I've changed. Yes, but you see, changing is based on behavior that we can see, not behavior that you say. Okay? So partner B struggles with their healing and how they deal with their anxiety. And sometimes it's not going to come out the way that they prefer, and certainly not the way partner A prefers. So partner A unknowingly is constantly shaming partner B for how they deal with their trauma. Do you think that that's a good idea? I want you all to think about these things. You ain't got to say it out loud. Just think about it for a second, class. How do you think that works for somebody with severe trauma? Partner A already caused some trauma on top of trauma that partner B already had. And then shames them for how they react to trauma. How do you think that works, class? What do you think is probably going through partner B's mind? And I know that you're probably like, wow, that relationship's not going to work. Well, it could. And that is the lesson here is if you are partner A and how you react to people's trauma, I want you to be more careful about how you do so. Because you yourself have suffered trauma. You yourself are not perfect. You yourself may be new to spirituality. And so you don't get to tell somebody else that how they react to their trauma is incorrect. Especially if you help cause some of that trauma. And unfortunately, many of you have. This is why I'm talking to different types of groups here. Okay? Partner B. If you are more like partner B, and you have suffered severe trauma that you've already done a good job at healing from, and then you're in a situation, it may not be with a partner, it may be in life, somebody causes you more trauma, you get to heal from that at your own pace. Do not ever let anybody shame you for your trauma and your anxiety. And also, you can manifest anything at any time of your life, any phase of the moon, any sort of eclipse. We're constantly manifesting. So when people say to you, don't do this, don't do that, don't make moon water, if that's what feels right to you, then do it. People also forget that we're from all over the world. And whenever they make these videos or they say these things, they oftentimes are only talking about the United States because, unfortunately, as I can say this as somebody from the United States, people here tend to believe that we're the only part of the world. And that is most certainly not true. And so, yes, it might be eclipse season here, but not in another part of the world. It might be autumn here, but not autumn in another part of the world. We might have something going on with a phase of let's say the moon or the sun, but that might not be going on in another part of the world, even within the same area. Okay? So let's think about that. Please. Let's not assume everybody's on the same path, same timeline, same structure as you. Okay? Let's start thinking outside of just us and how the things that we do affect others. And yes, it's like, Josie, this is big Virgo energy that you're giving us. Duh. I'm going to give you big Virgo energy every episode. But, and I never care about people who are so bothered by me talking about being a Virgo. Okay, that's not my fault. You know nothing about the zodiac and about your birth chart. Because the reason why I'm actually this way has a lot more to do with being a Leo moon. So if you knew anything about birth charts, because you took the time to learn, and yes, I'm shaming those who say things like that, then you wouldn't be so triggered and bothered. You're triggered and bothered because you are not educated, because you choose not to be. Okay? So no, I will never apologize for how I am. I'm sorry, I just dropped something. But, but yes, new moons, this lesson has been short because I want to get right to the affirmations. I'm not going to do the pause where you can say the affirmations with me. I'm just going to give you the affirmations and put them in the show notes so that you can have them with you. Say them to yourself, write them down, whatever works for you. I would love to know if it does work for you, or if there's more that you want to add, or you have more that you want to talk about, that you want me to talk about in the future about anxiety and manifestation. I will. But don't ever think that you're not capable. First of all, you're capable of anything. Remember, the mind can manifest anything. And if you are created in the image of the divine, of source, then who created you and created the entire solar system, and this is just one universe of many, then what makes you think that you can't manifest at any point in your life? That trauma is just a part of your story, but it's not your entire story. It's not who you are. It is a part of who you are. It is why you are the badass that you are. Okay? Don't you ever forget that. So let's get into these affirmations real quick. Right before we get into these affirmations, I want to stress this, and I'm going to stress it all the time. Self-love. If anybody ever tells you otherwise, they themselves need to work on their self-love. Because if you don't like you, how exactly do you expect to have a good life? How exactly do you plan to hang on to the people that were brought into your life to love and take care of you? How exactly will you manifest that hamster, that plane, that yacht, that apartment, and actually hang on to it if you don't like you? That makes zero sense to me. You've got to like you. You've got to be okay with you. You've got to understand that your healing trauma is yours and it is a part of you, but it is not all of you. And if you're not willing to overcome it, you're not willing to work through your anxiety, you're not willing to work through the pain, etc., and do what's called shadow work, which I've discussed on the villain episode, then understand that yes, you can still manifest anything, but you will not be excited about it. You will not be happy about it. You will not hang on to it. And it will, and don't be surprised if it just disappears. Don't be surprised if it goes to shit. Because this is a constant for us. We're always working at this. Okay? And so yes, always put self-love at the beginning of anything. If you want to do love spells on people, do you even like yourself? Why should they like you? Ask yourself these questions before you just start doing spells. Ask yourself these questions before you start saying that something isn't accurate, or that you can't manifest, or that why do I keep attracting these kind of people? Maybe it's because I'm a Virgo. No, maybe it's because you need to do some work on you. Okay? It has nothing to do with your zodiac sign. It has to do with you wanting to do the work. Okay? So, let's get into these 20 affirmations. I am worthy of healing no matter what I have been through. My trauma is not my fault, and I deserve compassion and understanding. I release any shame I carry. I am not responsible for what happened to me. Every day, I take small steps towards reclaiming my peace and happiness. I honor my journey, knowing that my strength is greater than my pain. I can manifest a life filled with love, safety, and joy, even after all that I have overcome. My past does not define my future. I am creating a beautiful new chapter. I deserve a life of abundance, despite the hardships that I've faced. Healing is my birthright. I am open to receiving all the support I need. I am more than my trauma. I am resilient, courageous, and full of potential. I allow myself to dream big, knowing that my past does not limit my future. I am gentle with myself as I heal. I deserve patience and grace. I release